welcome back to another Injustice Mobile video. And today I'm going to be talking about your credits and how you should spend them wisely and how you should make your credits worthwhile. So this video is going to be split up into different categories such as cards from bronze to metal, different game modes where you can use your credits, gear, booster packs, and all that good stuff. So first off, we're going to be talking about cards because that's the question I get asked the most, and that is, oh, which card should I promote? Should I promote this card, yada yada yada? And I'm going to be talking about how you should, one tip is that you should spend your credits on cheaper cards as a beginner as opposed to more of the stronger cards. So let me see if I have an example of a card that's expensive compared to a card that's not as expensive, and to compare stats. So, well, I know I'll put the credit amount for Injustice 2 Superman, but let's just compare. So Injustice 2 Superman, and we'll compare it to Batgirl. I don't know off the top of my head how much these cards cost, but I know just from the stats alone that Batgirl is cheaper than Injustice 2 Superman, because just looking at the stats, 112k health, 46k strength, and then 71k strength and 169 health. Superman, even though he is an S tier card, like an extremely good card, he costs a lot of credits. And compare that to Batgirl, I don't know how much she costs, but it's on screen now. She doesn't cost as much credits as compared to Injustice 2 Superman. And the point I'm trying to make is, even though Injustice 2 Superman has better stats, I would go for a more cheaper card for new players, because think about it this way: you're spending, by the time you get one promotion for Superman, you probably could have promoted a card twice. So I'll give another example. It's expensive compared to Injustice 2 Superman. So let's look at Zod cheap. Yeah, look at this, 220 credits for Zod. I think, is this Zod the same amount? Okay, no, he's from the, okay. So yeah, Zod, he's 220. So compare that to Injustice 2 Superman. And the only reason why I'm comparing Injustice 2 Superman is to explain my point again. It's better to promote cheaper cards, even though I mean, Zod's passive is actually not that bad. It takes 20% less damage from specials and supers. So even though his stats aren't as good as Superman's, he's still worth it because his passive actually comes in handy, taking 20% less damage just from his passive and no gears alone. Even though his stats suck, you know, his stats aren't the best, but the card is worth it. One, for new players, any gold card at a high promotion is worth it. So like I said, the point I'm continuously explaining is that in some cases, promoting a gold card that may not have as good as stats can actually help you in the long run, because you're going to be able to have more promotions of that card instead of just promoting the character once, when in reality you could probably have enough credits to promote another character maybe 2 or 3 times. So that is one thing about the gold cards. And to group the silver cards and the bronze cards together, you want to spend your credits on them the most. Now, I'm not saying to go spend your credits on all the bronze cards and all the silver cards. Find yourself a good team, because in another video I'll be talking about how to defeat Nightmare Mode. And one good thing about Nightmare Mode is that bronze cards are the easiest things in the game to like level up, to advance, because you're using bronze cards in the beginning. So by the time you're ready for Nightmare Mode, most of the bronze cards that hopefully you already picked out are already at level 40 or level 35, and then from there maybe you just need to level them up just a few, you know, maybe just giving them a few more levels. So in my opinion, a good bronze team setup would be Lex Luthor, because of his increase in damage, Nightwing, along with his power drain, he takes 25% less damage from basic attacks, and your boy Flash, just because his Flash gets a 15% attack speed increase, and he's just going to be hitting fast. He can do an infinite combo. So to me personally, Flash, Nightwing, and Lex is a solid good bronze team to invest into if you don't have a good bronze team already. So now let's look at the silver teams. So silver teams, I 100% want you guys to invest into Regime Green Lantern. Even, well, yeah, for Nightmare Mode, I'm mainly talking about, and for, you know, online battle and whatnot. But this dude alone, without any promotions, get him from the box, he's gonna have 50% increased power generation. Now it's bugged, it says 25%, I know, but it's actually 50%. So for me, just making a personal team that I like to use, and that's a good starter for Nightmare Mode, would be Regime Green Lantern because of his passive, along with Flash. He's also a good one. Wonder Woman is also heavily slept on because she gains more special attack damage for each blocked hit from a special. So very underrated. Regime Nightwing takes minus 50% less damage. Has Power Drain as well. The silver cards, there's a lot of good silver cards. So it's not like the bronze team where I feel like it's only like a few you really want. Catwoman was another good one for the bronze teams. But yeah, Regime Green Lantern is one card you really want. Harley Quinn's also another good one. A bit of damage, but her special 2 is also worthwhile. I think Lex has some health. Yeah, so invest into silver cards that are going to help you out, that are going to make a team. On my baby account that I used to play, I remember these 3, Harley Quinn, Lex, and Green Lantern helped me a lot in Nightmare mode. Because of just the support of the team, the power generation, the extra damage, the health, Harley Quinn's SP2, it just tied the whole team together. So overall, we didn't talk about the metal cards yet, but I guess they're in their own category. So overall, from bronze to gold, you want to buy the most cheap cards you can get and promote the cheapest cards you can get, and at the same time find a synergy that helps all 3 of the cards. Because yes, there's also buying cheap cards, but then there's also like, okay, I bought this cheap card, but it doesn't even synergize with the team. So you have to try and find the balance between both. Now, I don't have a lot of metal cards on this account. I mean, I have almost all the metal cards, but obviously they're not promoted. So, which is why we're going to talk about the nth metal and spending your credits. Me personally, if you're very low on alloy, I would only focus on maxing out the SP2 and buying the SP3 at least once, just so you can have it. And obviously another good investment is, once you get enough copies, is to evolve the next up, we're going to be talking about gears. And gears, I think, is pretty straightforward. But one tip I do recommend is not just to evolve the just because it has 5 stars. Obviously, like for example the Ibis stick, it's a really good card. But what I would recommend actually for new players is to evolve some of the smaller gears first, but that are also very effective. So let me give an example if I could find it. Here we go. The Power Gloves, 30% increase to basic damage, 30% crit chance, 2-star gear, very cheap, very effective. The kit, healing yourself for 15% on your SP2, giving yourself a bit of a max health increase. Again, 2-star gear, but very effective. Lazarus Pit or Lazarus Formula, healing on the SP1. Mark of the Lady Shiva, 3-star gear. Basically the Power Gloves 2.0. Again, very effective, very cheap. So that's just something I want to get out of the way for newer players, not just to go evolve, a 5-star gear or a 4-star gear. Don't sleep on the 2-star and 3-star gears for new players, because they will help you a ton, not just throughout the battle, but for stuff like Phantom Zone and to help your progression. Because having maxed out 2-star and 3-star gears compared to having, let's say, one maxed out 4-star gear is definitely going to be a difference. So next up, we're going to be talking about booster packs. We have booster packs. Now, there are booster packs you want to completely avoid, and there are booster packs that are worth getting. So first off, the booster packs you want to completely avoid, in my opinion, are the bronze and silver and maybe gold booster packs. You could get lucky and you could get a good character, or you could get a bad character. But this is mainly for new players. Endgame players and intermediate players, do not buy the bronze pack, do not buy the silver pack, do not buy the gold pack, don't buy any of those 3. In fact, for new players, I don't recommend buying the gold booster pack, because you're a new player and you're taking a risk that early on. So I would just save up credits and just purchase it from the store. That's my opinion. So in my opinion, I don't recommend buying the bronze, silver, or gold, just because me personally, I don't like taking chances that early on in the game. And once I'm an intermediate player or an end game player and a player that knows the game, there's no point buying gold, silver, and bronze. So my opinion is to stay away from these 3. So for new players, if we're just going to talk about the gear locker for a second, it's a good idea to buy a few packs of the gear locker. I wouldn't go crazy and buy 10. I would start off with like 2 to 3, see what you get. If you don't get anything good, stop there. If you get something good from the first 2, then maybe buy 2 or 3 more. Sorry, not 2 or 3 more, maybe like 1 or 2 more. because it's always good to have gears, and who knows, you might pull Ra's al Ghul's Scimitar, maybe Nightwing's staff or sticks, Ares' sword, Deathstroke's sword. So, you know, it's fine to take a chance on the gear locker, but just don't spend all your credits on the gear locker. But it would be a nice little investment for newer players, and obviously for intermediate players, I would also invest into the gear locker if you really don't have good gears already. And now we have the challenge booster pack, and the challenge booster pack is a little, you know, it's good and it's bad. So some of the good things about it is obviously it's a challenge booster pack, which means eventually the characters that are in this pack are going to be in the challenge mode. And luckily enough for me, on my baby account, I pulled Killer Frost. And wouldn't you know it, back when her challenge came out this year, her challenge came out, and guess what? I pulled her as a challenge character from the challenge pack. So it worked out very well. So you have a chance of that happening as well, where one of your characters that you pull from the pack happens to be the next challenge mode, maybe a week or two from now or whatever. But in general, just to get cards, if you're looking for a card and you need cards, you need a stronger card, don't invest heavily into the challenge booster pack. Now, it's good for some cards, you know, Luchador Bane, you're trying to build up the Blackest Night team. Having Batgirl on the team is also good, just for that 1 bar of power. But don't go spending all your credits on the booster pack, because that is the worst idea. Because the amount of credits that you're spending to probably get brand new cards, you can use those credits to spend, like I said, on gears, on other game modes, or promoting your gold cards, silver cards, or bronze cards. So these challenge booster packs, as a new player, intermediate player, buy like maybe 2 at first, see what characters you get. If you see that you got 2 bad characters from 2 packs or 2 unuseful characters, then I wouldn't buy anymore. But let's say you get 2, you know, Blackest Night Batman, Blackest Night Martian Manhunter, and you're like, okay, maybe I should try 1 or 2 more, then that's fine. But for brand new players, I would buy like 2 of these packs, and that's it. Because like I said, you're trying to build up your bronze, silver, and gold teams. So I'd go for maybe 2 of these packs, 3 at maximum if you really want to spend your credits. But if you really want to save them, then I would go for 1 to 2 of these packs as a new player. And intermediate and endgame players, it's fine to buy this pack. Like let's say you already have the characters you want at Elite 7 and you're looking more for the challenge characters, then at that point it's okay to spend your credits once you have, you know, your optimized team already set up and at Elite 7 or at Elite 10. So yeah, that is the booster packs. And just to go over again, I wouldn't buy the bronze, silver, or gold, and try not to buy a lot of the gear locker and challenge booster packs for newer players. But for intermediate players and above, it's okay to spend your credits on gear lockers and challenge booster packs, but at the same time, there's just better stuff to invest your credits. Last thing I do want to talk about and address very quickly is the game modes. So what game modes am I talking about? I'm mainly talking about the challenge mode and survivor mode. So challenge mode, to use your credits, it is worth it to skip the matches. I recommend skipping the last battle because it's usually the hardest battle, and it also costs more, so just keep that in mind. But I wouldn't spend your credits on the entire tower. Maybe like the last 3 fights, I would say it's worth it to spend your credits. If it's like 5 battles away from you promoting that 1 card that you desperately need, or that hopefully you think you need, then yeah, I would say it's a good idea to invest into some of the battles to skip if you really need that card. And for the other mode, survivor mode, 100% invest your credits into survivor mode. Once it ends, refresh it. It's fully worth it. And I know some people are going to say I could just change the time zone. If you want to go do that, go ahead. I'm just explaining for people who don't want to cheat at all or glitch, that it's worth it to invest your credits into refreshing survivor. But yes, you can just refresh the date on your phone and refresh survivor mode. I understand that, because I've seen comments on one of my videos that I did. I forgot which one it was, but some people were saying like, dude, you could just refresh, you know, survivor using your phone, just changing the date and time. I understand that, but just to, you know, explain to those players who don't want to do that, is all I'm saying. So yeah, that is all the main reasons why you would use credits. I don't think I missed anything. I'm just trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure I addressed everything that I said. And I will be leaving timestamps in the video, so that way if people just want to know about, oh, if I should get this pack, or what type of card should I promote, or is skipping the challenge mode, you know, worth my credits. So I will be leaving timestamps, and I just want to say thank you again for the support on these videos. My Injustice videos have been just popping off recently, and for a game that has been alive for like what, 8-9 years, it's insane how many people still tune in and watch these type of videos. So I just want to say thank you again, And yeah, more guides and more stuff coming soon. I appreciate the support, and yeah, peace.